Welcome to another Reddit video, the series where you can submit your videos, memes, pictures, questions, or anything related to the world of professional wrestling over on the Santi's Av Videos Reddit page. So if you want your hot garbage featured in next week's Reddit video, make sure that you check out the Reddit page. I'll put the link in the description for you. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring that bell for notifications if you're a wrestling fan. I know that you're gonna fall in love with this YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. All right, let's see what garbage he sent in this week. He did it. Bro, let me tell you, Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Champion was something that I 1000% without a single shadow of a doubt did not see coming. Now, this might not be the biggest moment of the year, but it might be my favorite booking decision of the entire year, primarily because I didn't see it coming in any way, shape, or form. Every ounce of evidence points to Jey Uso should have lost that match. One, he had beef with the Judgment Day, and I would have expected the Judgment Day to interfere. And two, he was going up against Braun Breaker, a young, dominant champion that's clearly the future of the WWE, who was just in the beginning of his championship reign. The odds were entirely stacked on Jey Uso, and then to compound everything, these types of championship changes just don't happen on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown anymore. I'm just happy that Jey Uso finally climbed this singles mountain because it was just taking so long to the point where it was getting kind of meme worthy to even think about the idea of Jey Uso winning anything of substance as a singles competitor. But just like Triple H did with LA Knight, where they kept pushing back the big moment month after month after month, they did it with Jey Uso as well. And god damn it, the payoff was amazing. I don't know where this can go. I don't know if it's just another rematch with Braun Breaker. Maybe it's Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Maybe it's bringing this into the story of the bloodline, and maybe he goes up against Jacob Fatu for the darn thing. I don't know. All I know is that at this very moment right now, I'm just excited that Jey Uso finally won something after a year of getting the shaft time after time, every single time that we think he deserves it. It's funny because when many of us felt like, okay, it's just not the right time, I'm okay with Jey Uso losing this, like I was, considering I didn't even watch the show because I was traveling. I didn't even rush to get home because I figured, Jey Uso is going to lose as we're all expecting. Then they decide to give it to us. That's mind-boggling. Just thank you, Jey Uso, for like 14 years of chasing this, and shout out to the WWE for finally pulling the trigger on this. This was so wholesome.
One, two, three.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's, dude, Little Uso's got the haircut and everything. Oh my, bro. Dude, these are the moments that make lifelong wrestling fans, like right there. Like you just witnessed a kid that will be somebody in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that will never, one, forget this moment and will be a wrestling fan for the rest of their life. Like, this is why wrestling is so damn cool. It's the reason why I call the podcast Wrestling is Cool, because of moments like these for people around the world. What did he say? I'm only coming to Dominic Mysterio. Okay, listen. I'm only coming to Dominic Mysterio. This is becoming a very popular thing on the subreddit to clip me out of context saying some heinous shit. Please stop. It's ruining my reputation. No difference. Yeah. So stupid. You guys are just brain rotted to the core. He's everywhere, Santi. Dude, I love that this guy has gone viral, even outside of the realm of professional wrestling. I don't know his name. I don't know if he watches these videos. Wherever you are, please never stop singing, and please keep singing wrestling themes, because no one gives love to wrestling outside of wrestling fans on the internet. So to see like a different pocket of the internet gravitate to wrestling related things is awesome. So keep singing your wrestling songs, bro. Today's video is sponsored by the wonderful folks over at Factor. Factor makes makes meeting your nutritional goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. Factor just takes the stress out of meal prepping altogether and sets you up for nutritional success. So skip the grocery stores, prep work, cooking fatigue, and instead get yourself chef-crafted meals delivered right to your doorstep with over 35 meals to choose from every single week from different options that fit your personal needs like keto, calorie smart, vegan, veggie, and more. When things get hectic in your life, Factor is flexible. You can change your order every single week with plans ranging from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause them or reschedule your deliveries altogether if you need a break from the deliveries or maybe you're out traveling. Personally, Factor helps me cut down on grocery trips and cooking, which adds more time to my day, which gives me time to hang out with friends, with my dog, go work out, or make these daily videos. So folks, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code SantiZap50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month's order. Again, that's code SantiZap50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Thank you once again to the wonderful folks at Factor for sponsoring this video. Now back to it. Guess I need to subscribe to the Match Club. Because I've been doing the Match Club on Patreon, I've been exposing myself. No, that is not what happens on the Patreon is where you get the podcast, where you get the Match Club. It is not where I expose myself. This is what I mean. You guys need to stop clipping me out of context.
No. And it's gonna be a Soraya's Rules match.
It's gonna be Soraya's Rules. Look at you now. Look at you now, Jamie Hater. It's gonna be Soraya's Rules. It's stupid. What the hell is Soraya's Rules? But again, I guess Bloodline Rules is kind of stupid too, so whatever. You do you, Soraya. Braun Breaker got what? Bro, are you about to clip me out of context again? I'm trying to post Braun Breaker getting absolutely railed by Jey Uso. Okay, there's context. there is context, folks. This is why you can't listen to these freaking channels. Santi's app out of context on TikTok is a menace to my reputation. Who is Vacant the wrestler? Yo, that's great lore. Ricky being Vacant, the greatest WWE and just professional wrestler in the history of this great sport. I mean, I could see it. The aura is there. No hate to Sancho. I just disagree with some of his takes. Me listening to Sancho's takes on the podcast. He does have terrible takes. Bum ass Sancho. Lame ass Sancho. If you haven't watched the Wrestling is Cool podcast, look, it's like one of the biggest fan run podcasts in the world of professional wrestling. All right, go check it out. We post it here on YouTube. If you want it early, it's on Patreon. It's on audio feeds. Go give it some love and go listen to Sancho's terrible takes about how Pure Fusion Collective should probably be in the headline of WrestleMania or some garbage like that. Only WWE fans would understand. Oh, of course. This is the dream. This is the dream right here. They got Pyro. Bro. Cody Rhodes didn't take all the Pyro budget for their wedding. That's awesome. First of all, amazing wedding. Wife for clearly letting the husband do this. This is clearly the stupid husband idea, all right? Because this is an idea that I would have. But I'm pretty sure, sadly, my stupid wrestling idea for my wedding will probably get shot down. But dude, wife, everybody for being involved. And the production, man. The production, they got Pyro. Oil up Santi Diddy. This one is, ironically, my favorite. Outstanding achievement of baby oil application. I have no words for this. All right, a lot of you guys sent me this about how P. Diddy's house was raided and they found like 1,000 bottles of baby oil. And they said that he was the reason I wasn't oiling up because he was hogging all the oil. Stop referencing me with anything to do with P. Diddy, all right? We're already hanging on by a dear, like a thread, all right, to our reputation. We don't now need to be associated with P. Diddy. Call it kayfabe or scripted. It doesn't matter. You can see the emotions coming in on Jey after a decade in the company. He truly deserves this. Yeah, this was so beautiful, man. I almost wish that USA Network didn't cut off the celebration as it was going. I wish that they had ended the match a tiny bit early so that we can get the full emotional scope of Jey Uso's celebration within the crowd. it really, like, I was emotional seeing this, and I didn't even get to see it live. I watched it after the fact in the morning. But how can you not be emotional in this scenario when you're striving for something and trying to do your best at one thing for so long, damn near 2 decades, to finally achieve the one thing that is a recognition that everything that you've been doing up to this moment has been done correct. Recognition that your peers and that your bosses believe that you are one of the guys that deserves to be carrying one of these major accolades. Like, bro, I break down crying too. R-Truth, when he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, I just want to say thank you for choosing me as the King of the Ring. This is such an honor. I can't wait for R-Truth's Hall of Fame speech. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, 100%. Anyone that thinks that he's not Hall of Fame worthy, you're crazy. R-Truth is a first ballot Hall of Famer as a character. Everything that he's done, how long he's been with the company, it would be so deserved when it inevitably happens. I don't know if he'll make a joke like this, but it would be totally on brand for him to do so. Name this tag team. All right, so we got Ricky and Roman Reigns. I mean, I can't think of anything, so let me go into the comments, see what you guys have. The hairline. It's gonna be hairline rules. Okay, of course the reply right after that is it's gonna be hairline rules. Have I become this predictable? Am I the problem in this community? Who is Roman Reigns' greatest rival? I mean, I think it comes down to 3, right? I think it's either Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, and you got to throw in Cody Rhodes at this point. Back-to-back WrestleMania main events, they're still going. But him and Brock Lesnar had so many WrestleMania matches, so many long-ass feuds. But then the Seth Rollins stuff just cuts so deep with their history and the fact that, you know, he's really not been able to exercise the demons that is Seth Rollins. When you really think about it, it was Seth Rollins that caused him to lose at WrestleMania 40 in the first place. I think it's between those 3, but I think because of how deep the cut is, I'm gonna say Seth Rollins. Who is the best on the mic among these 3? All right, so you got John Cena. So that's a heavy hitter. That's a member of what I call the Holy Trinity. You have The Rock, the second member of the Holy Trinity, and CM Punk. Okay, so you have the Holy Trinity of mic workers. These are the 3 best people on the mic, in my opinion. The Rock, John Cena, and CM Punk. They're all slightly different on the mic as well. Actually, not slightly. They're all very different. So they provide a different flavor of mic work, but they're all amazing in their own right. But just the most consistently, always amazing, never faltering, great mic worker to me is CM Punk. I feel like CM Punk can hit every single note that you ask of him, and it always just feels so real and so impactful. Although all 3, again, the 3 best on the mic in the history of the sport, in my opinion, I'm gonna go with CM Punk out of these 3. Apologies, Mr. Zapp, but this is what the people like. Authorities seized over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant during raids on Santi's home. Okay, that's great. Now I'm being compared to P. Diddy. I just said earlier to don't combine me and P. Diddy into anything. Who's y'all's prediction for winners of the 2025 Royal Rumble? I mean, it's a tough one, really. Like, this is one of the few years where there are an infinite amount of contenders. I really believe that. I will continue to harken back on the likelihood and possibility that The Rock could win the Royal Rumble. I don't think that it's going to be Cena. I feel like if Cena gets into a world championship match, it's going to be by winning the Elimination Chamber, for example. So I am still somehow picking The Rock as my favorite to win the Royal Rumble, just kind of in terms of how I'm seeing things here. And for the women, ooh, man, like, honestly, you could kind of take your pick, but I'm going to go with Io Sky. Who on the Raw roster would you like to see compete in a 7-match series similar to Andrade and Carmelo Hayes? I love your pick. I think your pick is amazing. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair could literally fight until the end of time, and I will always be entertained. I feel like you may have picked like the best choice here. I mean, we're kind of seeing it right now with Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed. I think that that's another great choice right there. And I also, if they end up doing the implosion of it, don't hate the idea of it being Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. I feel like they could do a great 7-match series, although me personally, I prefer that story to culminate in a WrestleMania match because I think that there's enough history and enough entertainment to warrant it being a WrestleMania match. But I think, yeah, you picked a great one here with Io and Bianca. Can we all take a moment to appreciate how amazing Joe Tessitore is? I mean, like, his improvement week over week over week is actually staggering. Clearly, this is a guy that was was already amazing at the profession of play-by-play commentary. He just needed some time to learn the ins and outs of wrestling and the cadence of wrestling so that he could add his own flavor to his already existing fantastic narrative that he has as a commentator. But now, like, man, he is delivering some home runs. The call that he had for Jey Uso's Intercontinental Championship win felt like something out of WrestleMania. It was an amazing call. He elevated the moment without stealing the spotlight. He really made you feel at home, the gut punch that it is to finally see Jey Uso win the big one. So I'm a huge Joe Tessitore fan. Everyone that was comparing him to Kevin Patrick at the beginning, I hope you're ashamed of yourselves, because clearly from the onset, I knew he was infinitely better than Kevin Patrick, but now he's just great. He's just great in his own accord. What is the craziest thing you think will happen? Me mentally getting ready for September to December, because the craziest plots always end up happening. That's not always the case. It's been the case like the last 2 years, thanks to, of course, the stuff with Sami Zayn and the Bloodline, Honorary Uso, War Games, and then last year because of CM Punk returning. But if it weren't for that, there really wasn't much going on at the end of the year there. CM Punk really just salvaged what would have been a really boring end of the year for the WWE. What I think will happen that will be the big shocker before the end of the year is the Rock returns, whether it's at Civil War Games for the Bloodline, before it, after it. But I think The Rock returns as the final boss at some point before the end of the year. Got to keep those daily videos pumping. I don't have a video today. ChatGPT. Okay, give me a break, all right? I'm trying to come up with different types of videos. And okay, if you don't like the ChatGPT videos, maybe I just won't do them, all right? Fair, all right? I get the criticism. What is currently the best weekly show? So NXT, SmackDown, and Monday Night Raw. Look, in terms of overall consistency, it is NXT. It might just not be your flavor because it doesn't have the big names that you're accustomed to, but it's been just consistently great and consistently good for much longer than SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. Here's the thing. NXT right now is also in like a huge buildup right now as they change networks to the CW. So they're unveiling like new superstars, main roster people like CM Punk and Randy Orton going down. A-Town Down Under. We got Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair going down there as well for a match. The main event scene and the mid-card scene, the tag team scene of NXT is just cooking. It's just so good and so consistently great from head to toe. There's no bad division. Right now, Raw and SmackDown are also fantastic. So the only reason I'm picking NXT is because of how long it's been consistently better than the other ones. Knew it. 3'2", 400 pounds. All right, whoever did this, man, that's dirty. That's foul play to Photoshop. It's good Photoshop. It's a damn good Photoshop of me, Wheezy Blonde, and Con Man at TwitchCon. This is foul, man. This is foul. It's gonna be Diddy Rules. Oof. Okay, yeah, you probably probably a bad time to be seen photographed anywhere near New York with P. Diddy. Ugh. Oof. Do you think that this man is a top 10 greatest WWE superstar of all time? Man, like, I think there's a good case for it, but I think it's an easier case to make the argument of a top 10 greatest wrestler just in general. But WWE superstar is hard because to me, like, that's pigeonholing yourself to just what you've accomplished in the WWE. And AJ Styles has such a huge body of work outside of the WWE. And it's such a much longer career outside of the WWE as well, even though he's been in the WWE now for coming up on, what, 8 years? But it's tough to make the argument that he's a definitive top 10 WWE superstar. But overall wrestler, you gotta have him in the conversation near the top. Genuinely might be the funniest line on WWE TV this year.
Just put the fries in the bag, bro. You washed.
Not only was the line good, the brawl was amazing. It was maybe one of the most realistic looking backstage brawls. Like, Andrade seemed genuinely pissed. Maybe not necessarily at Carmelo Hayes, but did you guys see that like weird handshake where LA Knight wanted to just do a fist bump and it kind of looked like Andrade felt like a fist bump wasn't like enough respect and wanted to do a handshake. So then they did the weird rock, paper, scissors thing. And it was just awkward. It was almost like that's not how that was supposed to play out. They both looked pissed at how that all went down. And maybe Andrade came out here, used that anger to give us one of the most realistic brawls that we've seen in the back in WWE. But yeah, just put the fries in the bag. It's great delivery too from Carmelo Hayes. Who's his best feud, WWE or AEW? I mean, when it comes to AEW, I have to go back to the MJF feud. The MJF feud in terms of the match that they had, the dog collar match, but then the promos that they actually had were just genuinely terrific. They were so goddamn good, but they're not as legendary as like the Cena feuds, for example, the current feud with Drew McIntyre. But what I think is actually his best feud is maybe the Jeff Hardy feud, the stuff that he was doing in 2009, the stuff that he was doing as a member of the Straight Edge Society, the amazing TLC match. I want to give that a huge shout out, but I do think the correct answer is the feud with Cena. Like this is it's a feud that fundamentally, for me at least, saved professional wrestling. All right, folks, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and get out of here.